I've been in sales for 40 years, which is a lot, but I started in high school. I ended up winning a competition, a national sales competition through Distributive Education Clubs of America, and I went to nationals. And the reason that I won nationals wasn't because I had a flowery, fantastic idea. It was in retail sales. It wasn't because my floor plan was great or my ideas were great. The reason that I won the nationals is because when I sat down, I found a reason to connect with the person who was judging me. He also was from St. Louis at the time. He worked for Brown Shoe Company. And so I dug deep. I'm like, what do I know about Brown Shoe Company? And the answer was, I had a friend in grade school whose dad had worked for Brown Shoe Company. So instead of sitting down and trying to sell him my floor plan and my ideas, which they weren't any better than anyone else's. But the reason that I won is because I sat down and I asked him a question about him. I asked him about his experience at Brown Shoe Company, and I told him a little bit about what I learned about Brown Shoe Company as a kid, having a friend whose dad worked there. And he was so impressed by my desire to not sell him that he gave me the top score, which ended up helping me win the competition. Again, I didn't win because I had a great idea. I didn't win because it was a smart idea. I won because I cared about the person that I was talking to. And no one else, I think, ever did that. Everyone was so consumed on pursuing what was important to them and not what was important to the person that they were talking to.
Hmm.
So I learned early on that the relationships that we make throughout our lives will serve us. The things that we learn in the relationships that we make throughout our lives will serve us. It really is who you know, and you can know anyone and everyone just by introducing yourself and being friendly and being inquisitive and wanting to know a little bit about them, wanting to know a little bit about their motivations. There is one thing I've learned through years of developing sales relationships is that people don't want to be sold, they want to be bought. And there's a big difference. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. People want to hear what they have to say. I mean, as I sit here and talk about myself, yes, they do. It gives people a sense of joy to communicate and to interact. And everyone's so tired of being talked at. They want to be talked with. They want to be listened to. They want to be heard. It's fear because people don't approach with a sense of curiosity about the person they're approaching. They approach with an agenda, and their fear is that of rejection of their agenda. But if you don't, you have to present your agenda at some point, but you can't do it until you find out if they're interested in that or not. It takes time. It takes curious interaction. It takes questions. It takes thoughtful responses to their replies. Only at that time are they going to be open to your sales pitch or your idea. You're
Yeah.
always selling, no matter what, selling yourself, you know? And again, you don't have to sell yourself if somebody likes you. And the way to get them to like you is to be likable by asking questions and be inquisitive about their lives. And, oh, that's a beautiful necklace. Where did you get that? Oh, I understand you went to grad school at wherever. I know someone who did that. And, did you have the same experience? Or I read your article about this. Do you really think, I mean, people eat that up. And I don't mean for it to sound like it's a tactic, like somehow I'm manipulating somebody. I genuinely have curious questions that people enjoy answering. There's a fine
Yeah.
line. I mean, like for example, you have an accent. I haven't asked you where you're from, but I've wanted to. I'm guessing Australia or maybe England. I don't know. But so, sometimes you get asked that question all the time. And that can
Hmm.
be kind of irritating. It's like, I'm from America. Okay, well, but you're not because you have so you don't want to get in a situation where you're just rote asking questions that everyone's asked. You want to do a little bit of analysis. You want to do a little bit of research on your person so that your question is a little bit better than every other question they've gotten before. It takes time to figure that out. So, like, I could tease out from you maybe some history. Like, okay, so I see you're at MU now. Where was your past education? Then maybe I can tease that information out and take it a little bit deeper and a little bit farther than, well, why you got such a cute accent? See what I'm saying? It's a nuance in
Mhm.
relationship building. I want to dispel the fear of introducing yourself to somebody new. I want to dispel the fear of walking into a crowd of strangers and feeling like there's no one that you can talk to. I want to help people realize that everybody in that crowd is also just walked into a room of people that they don't know, and they are so eager to be engaged in a conversation. Walk up to them, say hello, say, hey, I love this outfit you're wearing. I mean, if you truly love the outfit, say something. Don't be afraid because they're as afraid of that room of strangers as you are too. And by getting together, you both are dispelling that fear. And if a sale comes out of it, wonderful, fabulous. And if a sale doesn't, what's the worst that's happened? You've just made a new friend.
Yeah, by the way, I am from New Zealand.
Ah,
So
I was
yeah.
close. I was
Yeah.
close, but not too close. I should have known.